Welcome to season 3 of TBI Uncovered. I'm so excited for this episode today. It's going to be an episode like none other. And so, I'm Erica Renee. I'm your host, Erica Renee, and I'm a TBI survivor looking to change the world one story at a time. TBI Uncovered is a platform that allows both the traumatic brain injury and brain injury survivors, gunshot survivors, stroke survivors, AVM survivors, survivors of various brain conditions, survivors alike, the disability community, caregivers, medical professionals, organizations, and anyone such as brain injuries to share their stories and provide tips plus resources and bring awareness to those impacted. Thank you for joining me today for this special episode. But I do want to give a trigger warning to my viewers by saying this episode will be about gun violence. It's a little bit about gun violence, just about a little bit. But for the most part, it'll be like a typical episode. And so anyone who knows my guest today knows she's a champion by her every meaning of the word. She's a self-published author, founder and CEO of Pages of Poetry, singer and songwriter, poet, outreach director for the Gun Violence Survivors Foundation, co-owner of Wild Ice, keynote speaker, and her most important titles, Child of God, Wife, and Bonus Mom. She's also a post-shooting massacre survivor who has become a champion. So let's welcome another world changer, Patience Mary. One second.
Hi.
Hi, Patience. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for having me. I love thank you,
Absolutely.
and I appreciate this moment with you right now.
Absolutely. I appreciate you as well. Absolutely. So let's get into it. Are you ready? So, oh goodness. Thank you again for joining me. How are you doing? First and foremost, how are you doing? How's the weather where you are?
Wow. So but the weather is pretty cool here. It's very hot
Nice.
and humid in South
Hot and
Florida,
humid.
but it's super humid. It's just like super humid. Like it's not even. It's almost unbreathable.
Unbreathable?
Unbreathable, girl. Uh, but I've been going through a lot of transition and change.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, so I'm sure live in and all these things, but definitely in a space of being more conscious and more aware. I'm saying, the things that I'm being a part of. So I'm super conscious. Like,
well, I want you to give me the opportunity to highlight your story yet again. Your story is all over the place, but to have it on my platform, I'm honored to have your story. So, without further ado, I want this conversation to be one that puts a microscope on two people who lived through traumatic experiences that deal with gun violence, which just happen to be two beautiful black women. And so, I did watch an interview with the Griot, and my heart, oh my God, Patience, it went out to you. You know, gun violence is a touchy subject, but when it affects you personally, it really reaches deep down to like it really reaches deep down inside. So when you're affected personally by it, and so without further ado, for my viewers, I would like for you to introduce yourself and briefly share your story and events that happened with the post nightclub shooting massacre. You can share much you do like or little as you like, you know. So yes, you can share your story with my audience.
okay, and I'm 26 years old, and I live in South Florida, and we actually met during the in that whole process, and now rebuilding. I am called Foundation, and it's built on this philosophy of I am not a victim,
That's right.
survivor. That implies I'm barely by the best I can, extreme down and succeeded, so called. And that's where
I love.
like there. I did not
Mm-hmm.
start there. On June 12th, 2016, I survived something that most people wouldn't come back mentally and
Mm-hmm.
physically in both legs, but the bullet that entered my right thigh, it shattered my femurs.
Mm.
I talk about this often, but there's still pain.
Absolutely.
sit down, there's pain. When I stand up, it's a constant reminder of experience, those scars and those reminders, but it's also a reminder of how amazing God is and how something meant for literally your turned around for your good.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that was important for Paul's nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Went through the horrific. I feel like there's so much that I've learned. My really other people who are as moment darker period. Even in the club, being inside the bathroom with the shooter on the floor, or got so out of my body happened. So even in those moments, I remember up and like if anybody's ever felt like this is it, or they've been at their own little rock bottom, I just want to, if I could, this moment, so I don't have to. I know what that is like, and I like. Moment, and it hasn't been. I'm completely healed, completely okay. Journey worth taking, and healing. It might not be healing, messy, confusing, but it's always worth it. I can go a little bit more.
Wow. You said healing is not pretty. It's not pretty all the time. It's definitely not pretty. You said a whole mouthful. Wow. And even as you're sharing, it was cutting in and out, but I know your story, the majority of it, and so like I said again, just to hear you say it is very, and I know there's still pain there, and but our God is a healer. Our God is a healer, and He gets us through each moment. It's like even have to take a second at a time, a day at a time. He gets us through those moments, and it's very trying. So I commend you on sharing your story, and I know for me, I won't say it gets easier to share my story all the time, but and I'm not sure if it's the same for you, if it gets easier or I don't know, but it's different, and it hits different every time. So it's different feeling, it's a different like mood. It's just different, and I just commend you on having the strength to replay it again, go through those events again, because I know that it's not it could be a trigger. I know it could be a trigger for some people. Um, it's not always a trigger for me, but I think that it can be. I know it can be a trigger. It's so, like I said, it's so touchy. So again, I commend you, and I'm honored that you again share your story on my platform. And I didn't know, but I didn't know it was considered one of the deadliest acts of terror in the United States of America, in U.S. history. I didn't know that. I'm like, when I read, I
Yeah.
said, "Wow!" Like, what? That is so crazy.
The magnitude of what happened, it shocked me, because so I never really experienced violence at that magnitude. It being like the name scroll, like at the end, people who didn't make it. It was just like, it was surreal to me to be alive. So
Yes. Yeah. I again, it's gut wrenching, and it has to. Gun violence has to end. It has to end. Period. It just has to. It has to end, and I don't like it, and I don't know people that do like it, but it has to end. And I'm thankful that we get to advocate our stories to bring how people bring awareness to it. To say, hey, this stuff happens, and it's about saying it get hurt all the time. So it's not fair, but it happens, and it's not planned necessarily, but sometimes when things happen like that, it's to get, God uses us in some of the most unconventional ways. We always say God used me, but we don't get to decide how He uses us.
Ooh.
So we have to go through something. I'm just saying. So you don't get to, we don't get to pick and choose how He uses us. So it may hurt, it may be painful, but look at the other side of it. You have so many beautiful things that's going on in your life you're into later, but it's your life is lit. So I'm just saying. It's beautiful. God has showed it out in your life, like He really has showed up and showed out in your life in a big way, and it's stuff like that it makes it easier to deal with. It doesn't make it as, I don't know. It just makes it a little easier. It softens the blow in so many words. Softens the blow,
Right.
and so
It gives everything that you went through purpose, and it connects it to something, not just
absolutely
horrific thing, and then that's it.
mm-hmm.
And all you have that in your mind again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing I can use my pain to people who are also hurting, who've
Yes.
gone through this, then it makes it more appreciative of the thing, because you know relate and not have been able to relate to
Mm-hmm.
your experience.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely agree with you wholeheartedly. So what were you like before the events at Pulse?
You
Who
know,
was facing the high school? What kind of girl were you?
I was a nerd in high school.
You was there? Oh, I was too. I was too.
I was such a nerd in high school, socially awkward, and I really was struggling a lot in my family dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
my guardians at the time. So I always had this desire to leave and go off to college. Like that was my main goal. My was getting good, well enough grades that I can get a scholarship and get out of the hood. So, and I pretty much
I feel you.
this is the real. I was
Yeah.
just trying to make,
I mean, keep it real.
that's when the as far as like seeing a different side of life, possibilities of what I could do with my life and with my
Mm-hmm.
gift. Being inspired every day to just go after it and hustle and make the dreams come true. I was molded in that environment, so I was feeling on top of the world before Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing could stop me. I done made it out. I'm relentless. Like my life. So when Pulse happened, it was like like everything
Mm-hmm.
just physically too, because I couldn't actually walk.
Yeah.
So it was getting into a lot of trouble, and it's something that just completely slows you down and reminds you.
Yeah. Well, it definitely slowed you down. You talking to the choir, telling you reaching to the choir. You are.
You
They're like, are we twins? Are we twins? So our stars are parallel. Say that's it's so parallel. It's so parallel. And so I can't believe you were I can't believe you got in trouble. You said you got in trouble?
I was getting in trouble, and not always the kind.
I can't believe you.
I know, but this before the interview. But
Okay.
the of it is, I was running from Philly. I was still running from so much, and I was running so fast that I was people that I shouldn't have been connecting with, running into circumstances that I shouldn't have been. But it was all chase of something that I thought I wanted and I needed.
Yes.
So when Pulse happened, it was this like life shaking, like that all the things that I thought I wanted, all the things that I desired to do, none of that mattered. None of that mattered. Like it just made life a lot bigger. It made me think about influence. It made me think about what really matters.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I, I'm telling you, I feel like it's like, oh, like just listen to the story, like, but yeah, I definitely can relate to everything you're saying. It puts stuff in perspective, definitely does. And with mine, I didn't even know what happened. Like it was almost like I had an amnesia. I wasn't even aware of anything that had transpired because I blacked out. Like I didn't feel the pain of the gunshot. I didn't feel that, and I just woke up and I remember seeing all the. I was in the coma for a month and a half, and so I just remember seeing all these machines and cords, and I had shaking my throat, feeding tube, and I'm looking around and I can't talk. I couldn't talk for about 4 months. And so I'm looking around at these machines, like and I didn't even think my brain to think like, "Where are you at, Erica?" It's just I knew that I felt like I can't even remember how I felt. It was just so a different. I was on so much medication that I zoned in and out, and so I can't even relate to you in the sense that I knew I was aware of what happened. I knew up until the moment that it happened, but beyond like the actual physical shooting of it, I don't recall any of that. I don't. It's not even. Mm-mm. And I was told that I flatlined on the way to the hospital and all these other things, had seizures, stroke, and all that other kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was a bit much. One little thing can make a big impact in your life, like just turn around like that. So it's amazing how just it's crazy how that happens. And so, but trauma can definitely take a toll on you. But could you also share with us how you dealt with trauma mentally? How did it affect you mentally, as far as like did you have to go like counseling or were you in your I don't want to say right state of mind, but I mean I know around you, but how are you mentally?
Well, to say for sharing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I should have to turn all the time, but yeah, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
And I love I love the fact that you have space for us to talk honestly and real.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not many where you talk honestly and real. You have those bad responses, to be honest and really
Mm-hmm.
talk about how it's really. So I appreciate this. Um,
Yeah.
the question.
You're fine. You're fine. I said, oh goodness. Oh, I said, what was your recovery journey like mentally? How did it affect you mentally?
Oh man, my recovery journey was really messy, very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I do, which I'm totally against now. At the beginning, I felt as though no one could understand what I went through, and I was adamant on that. And when I tried to a therapist, it seemed very surface level to me, and it didn't
Mm-hmm.
seem like anybody say anything that anybody else hadn't said to me. So I pretty much did a lot of things wrong when it came injecting that pain, that hurt onto other people, and in particular the people who were around. And luckily, I had people around me who were strong to take it. But I don't recommend anybody who survived anything. If you have the resources, if you're able to utilize therapy, please, it'll save you a lot of time later when you're processing ways or why
Absolutely.
you have tendencies the way that you do. It all goes back how you healed in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. What
That's it.
what pattern did you order to survive?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you want to come out of that survival mentality, actually, the abundant side of life is really hard to when a lot of your healing filled with so much elation, and it's
Yes.
very that's what my experience being very limited, very I just lashing out, constantly lashing out, and while it also took, unfortunately, in my journey, it took more and heartache for me
Mm.
understand that I'm not as good as it looks on the outside. That there was a lot more on the outside that I had talked about. So, and definitely advocating for people, just talking. If you can't afford a therapist, if you have a friend, or if you have a family member who openly and honestly about what's going on up here, because it's so much that was going across everything you could think of. Just one end it all, and you would think you'd be so grateful to be alive after surviving something like that, but it kind of has the opposite effect as well. Why me?
It does.
Why is my, I don't feel special. I don't even feel like, being alive today. So why? And that can make you do some stupid things, make you say some stupid, and that's the honesty of the journey that I have. Honestly, it wasn't until this year that I actually therapy, in particular BetterHelp, because it was right there, accessible. It's about it and everything. So I'm like, well, let's give this a try. And what it did was help me to think, and something that I have thinking about in the beginning of my healing journey. So.
And it's so funny you said that was not funny, but it's so interesting and ironic that you said it because I too started therapy this year. And and not to say that I should have had it sooner. And people are surprised, like you just started therapy. I'm like, yeah, I because I believe in God. Prayer works. It does work. And I'm fine. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. And but you don't realize the toll it takes on you until one thing happens, and it's like, oh, I thought I was good. I thought I was stronger than that. I thought I could handle that, but and one thing therapy
Right.
taught me was to process my feelings and not sugarcoat them, not put them under the rug. 'Cause my feelings matter too. I'm just as important as anybody else. And so that's what it helped me open myself up to, understand my worth a little bit more and to accept, to fully understand the totality of how I process my emotions. Because what you made me mad about one thing, but it's really not about that one thing. It's about the other thing that you didn't deal with. So that's what I learned in therapy. So it does help. Therapy does work. So I thank you for acknowledging that as well. So it's very important. We don't have to be strong all the time and handle it deal by ourselves because we gotta get our issues to God first and foremost. But if there's people out there that can help, like Patient said, go to counseling. Don't be ashamed to go to counseling because it definitely can help you. Don't be in pain. Don't sit in pain because you don't. It's not good. That's not how God wants us to live. So yeah, but thank you for addressing it as well. And I have to ask this too: do you have triggers? Like, do you have triggers, or if you do, or how do you deal with them?
I got a lot of triggers, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them aren't even necessarily related. Um,
Hmm.
I, and this is why I wanted to do the survive, opposed to just limiting it to the gun violence. I feel like I'm most people are,
Mm-hmm.
and triggers about a lot of different things. And till me doing this spiritual awakening, and all, not just the ones that are gun violence related, but learning through these other how better I could heal in this particular gun
Mm-hmm.
violence related, because it was so obvious that it could be. But to answer your question, yes, I have the triggers and what helps to slow down in the moment.
Mm. Slow down the moment. I like that.
And remember that what could very possibly be a very strong emotional reaction and not necessarily or thought of information of what I'm perceiving it as. So
Can you say it again? Can you say it again? Can you say it again, please? You said
okay,
to.
how far back?
Oh, the beginning of it. You said yeah, the beginning part of the response
Yeah.
because
So
it's totally clear.
it's because I might be responding to something out of emotion or
Mm,
perceived logic or information, because I might be feeling like whatever just happened, but it may not be truth. And that's something that is that, what's the evidence to support, or what's the evidence to
mm,
thought that you're having in response to this trigger?
yeah,
Because it's there, but what about the situation? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
slowing down, really discerning between your emotions and self. For a more practical example of like hearing out, to make this a gun violence related answer, I hear like a loud that really scared me, but outwardly I might not express that I'm, because inside I'm processing
mm,
and with logic and information to see what it could actually be versus response, which is terrified,
mm.
and giving me something of realizing that a gunshot, something else. And if I react to how I'm feeling, then it eliminates that moment of processing and seeing. So that's how I deal with
Hmm.
my triggers. In the moment, and I you know, logic over emotion. Even if I'm feeling
Logical
very
emotion.
emotionally strong.
Okay. I like the logical emotion. Okay. This
Mhm.
powerful. Okay. I don't know if I have a formula. I haven't thought that deep about it as to how I deal with my triggers, but hmm. No, logic over emotion. Okay. I can dig that. I
Yeah,
can dig it.
and
I
for
can dig it.
things, not just in one area.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of areas. Yeah. A lot of areas. a lot of areas. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. That's wisdom. That's wisdom right there. That's wisdom. A lot of times, as women, we always in our emotions. A lot of times, and it's so hard not to be. But we gotta like really back, because it's yeah, really back. But yeah, logic of emotions. Okay, I can dig that. So seriously, did you or do you have survivor's guilt?
Not anymore.
None of one.
I had survivor's guilt because a very narrow lens, seeing that went to club that night,
Hmm.
and two of us that survived didn't make it. So then also from that, the name rolling at the screen of so many people didn't it. Why? Like, you know what I mean? Just starting, and
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to that feeling, feeling like my whole life. So, and feeling like I don't deserve a second chance in life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, those, but the thing is that I realized even with me feeling like that didn't necessarily start at Pulse. It began way, but Pulse illuminated this, this issue of self-worth that I had. Like me surviving, it would cause some sense of guilt, and
Mm-hmm.
that why would why would I left to deal with this. Second, like fold to that is also okay when I do finally feel or muster up the courage to feel grateful, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for negative voice constantly, you know, going at you of, you shouldn't, because look at all these other people who didn't.
Yeah. I can definitely. I say I feel like we're twinsies because a lot of things we has transpired is a lot of how what was dealt with me. I don't share this often, but it was four of us. I was one of the ones that got shot, and I call her a little cousin, but she was really a friend, and it was four of us, but she passed away. And I didn't know initially that she passed away. I didn't find out till maybe I was at rehab, so I maybe found out maybe like 2 months later that she passed away. And when I found out, I was at the hospital by myself, no family, only girl on my floor, only African American on the floor. And so I'm out there alone, 20 miles away from my family and friends, and I'm just out there like, oh my. And so I was very depressed, and I didn't eat 4 days. I didn't have appetite because I felt like I should have done something. What I could have done, I don't know, because I didn't do it. But I just felt like I was the oldest. It was my birthday weekend, and I felt like I was the oldest. So I felt like I should have protected them, like a big sister. I should have protected them. Like I don't know what could have did because I got shot first, and then no, she got shot first actually, and they said I ducked, but I don't remember ducking, and so but I just felt so guilty. Like I don't even know. It eats at you, and it's like, why do I feel this way? And it's just one of those things. Like, and it ate me up for about 7 years. That it ate me up or whatever. But I'm pretty much um moved past it. Not moved past it, but I pretty much have dealt with it, and I look at it in a different way. I don't view it the same, but I do. We do each other the same parallel of, you know, and it's not even saying why me, but it's more so like you think about everybody, people like she had passed away, so it's like, well, why am I so blessed to be living? Like, and so my younger cousin had to tell me because I don't like I don't like celebrate my birthday because 2 days later my injury happened. I got shot June 1st, and so it's like my birthday is right there next to it. My birthday was that Friday. I shot this Sunday, and so I was like, I don't like my birthday. I don't like my birthday anymore, but my little cousin talked to me. She said, Erica, it's like telling God you're not happy to be alive, that he made a mistake or something. And so I was like, oh no, oh no, no, I don't gotta think that. So that really just snapped me back into reality.
Well,
Like, wait, get it together, get it together, get it together. Like just that one little thing, just that one little thing, got back together. So I thank my cousin for that. But it's rough, and we when the anniversary comes, it's rough. It's rough for some people. It's rough, but you deal with it day by day, and you honor the person in the best way you know how. So that's what I think about
and
it.
I'm so glad that you shared the two with survivor's guilt and what helped you, because and the only thing that helped me in that moment was so Akira. She was the one who didn't. Her mom,
Mm-hmm.
like me in the hospital, saw that I was taking it, I guess, receiving it the wrong way, and it was starting to show up in how I was just spaced out. And
Mm-hmm.
if it was any one of us who would have went back in, we would have went back. Like, it doesn't even matter like who it was, or
Mm-hmm.
we would have went back. The reality is, based on the way that everything happened, that somebody
Mm-hmm.
was, no matter which one was
Mm-hmm.
inside the back, still would have went that way. Releasing that guilt of knowing that even if that it wouldn't have, neither one of us would have left anybody in that club.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just knowing that, but also and spiritually knowing that God pretty much knows for you, even though you, and He knows what you're through. He knows the experiences that
Yep.
you're gonna have from the beginning and the end,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning. So
Yes.
finding comfort in that. So I don't understand this, or I don't see the value in myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
As long as God,
That's all.
one day I'll catch up.
Yes, I agree. Wholly agree. Yes, I agree. And yeah, I agree. Oh goodness. How important is shifting your mindset, not only after losing your sister in love, but after the incident?
So can you read it?
So how important is changing your mindset to thinking about something more positive versus dwelling on the situation at hand. How important is changing your mindset about the whole from thinking it's your fault, from blaming yourself to those shoulda, woulda, couldas. How important to change your mindset to not think that way?
Well, I definitely changing your mindset is number one, and unfortunately, the mindset is super important. It's the number one thing that we have to do, but gradually, I feel like to and I feel like each is to a new level of consciousness that helps change our mindset. Now, if we're listening to that assists with that process of different motivational videos or positive things, but with all of that, I feel like nothing is unless you go through the experience your point of view through it. And I feel like that's the most permanent shift is when you go through something and you can no longer see the world. So it's definitely important. It's up there. It's definitely number one. Is really, really crucial. I guess how you view yourself specifically is very, very, because if you're worthless, that's up going to bring back to you. Even if you have enough, but can kind of facilitate energy that comes to us and around us just based off of the way we believe. And this is a part of the reason why I wanted to create the Survivor to Champion Foundation, is because I just didn't want to continue to look at, but I just didn't want to continue to look at myself as who just needs charity. A lot of the times, the way that the media will shape you, will refer to you, it keeps you in this box of your victim, your survivor.
Yes.
And that's all that are for your life. You were born here to be a survivor. That's it. But I don't want that. That's all that's possible. And I want to believe that there could be more for my life. So, and I can even create that mental image myself differently. Okay, I don't want to look at myself really just getting by, even though it's like that some days. It really is. That's the truth. But just like you need it for other things, I think we should have a mental picture of the champion that we want to be, the visionary that we want to be, the strong person that we want to be. Because again, like, truth is, we got bad days, but we can look ahead.
Yes, definitely agree. And it's called Survivors, Champion Survivors.
So Survivors.
Survivor Champions. Did I get it right?
Survivor 2 Champions.
Survivors 2 Champions. Okay. Yeah, you say that too. You say that. I've said it. We're on the same page. I love that though, and I definitely agree with you, because if you keep that narrative, it's like you're not gonna allow your mind to elevate in a greater way. This was the God knew this would happen. God knew this was going to happen, and so he has much bigger plans. But if you're still stuck in that place of, oh well, like Survivor, I mean, you can if heal how you need to heal. I'm going to take by all means, but some point in time you have to say, okay, I want to actually live, not just live, but live and do something with my life, and not just allow this thing that I'm not gonna let this thing define me. So many words. You have to have that mindset to say, nope, it's not gonna define me, because. So I have a saying that I'm not defined by my TBI. So that's why I say I'm not defined by it. You can say, yes, it happened, yes, it did, but I'm not. It don't define me. It don't determine who Renee Walker is. It don't determine it. So, but I think we had that mentality. It makes it like it is the blow a little bit. So, yes, I definitely agree with that. Yes. So What brings you joy? What makes you what makes you happy? What makes you smile? What does that for you?
Is music does.
Music.
And music has back to before post, right?
It was,
So
yeah.
right as music was a part of that before
Mm-hmm.
poem. And it was a dream that I always did since I was a girl,
Mm-hmm.
just writing music, writing original songs, singing in high school, just performing the songs
Mm-hmm.
for my peers,
Mm-hmm.
just but along the way, I think life hardened me a lot and made me more practical with my dreams. So I think the music was too big for me. I chose other dreams to replace that and
Mm-hmm.
kind of be a dream and just, but I just didn't believe that it was possible for myself. But a part of my own shift from mentality is believing that the greatest things are possible. I have
That's
not
right.
just okay, all in the dream.
They really are.
So brings me joy. Songwriting and singing brings me joy. That is one thing that I know for sure. That process of you know think you think you know what makes you happy, and
Mm-hmm.
we realize that none of those things that I thought. When I thought about the things that gave me joy as a child and the things that gave me joy when I went back to those things, I realized it's very consistent to
Yes.
what gives me joy. That's a clue for you guys who are listening to this
Yes.
live right now. If you ever want to know back to those early moments of childhood and think about what gave you joy before, just in the what were you doing? Were you writing? Were you drawing?
Yes.
Were you making music? Were you singing? Like what? Like that is a part of your joy now. You just have to be but music is definitely a part of it. But also just generally writing and just writing things from my soul. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not and now I realize on what it is necessarily that I'm writing, but it's just writing that comes out. Whatever I feel. It could be
Yes.
a motivational quote. It could be just a blurb that I just want to empower myself later.
Mm-hmm.
That I come up for myself. Like, you know what I mean? And when I go back and I read what I wrote, I'm like, that touched me. Touched me
Yes.
again. And that's
Yes.
like when I go back and listen to the songs that I wrote and I like sung stuff, I'm like, man, this really moved me. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm slowly where I feel comfortable enough again to put myself out there vulnerably with my art, with whatever
Mm-hmm.
that comes out of my soul. Because I know that now the reason why it came out of my soul was to empower me first. And if it did the job of empowering me, I job of empowering somebody else.
That's right. And when you said that, I immediately thought about it's yes, it's you with the gift, but it's for other people. So it's to bless other
Right.
people. So I love that as well. So I want to play a short clip of I want you to explain how you felt in this moment of this experience. What was that? What did you feel in that moment of? Did you like yeah? Oh, you can hear me? Oh, oh no, oh man, that's not good. Hold on 1 second. Oh, that's not good. You still can hear me? Ah, I don't know what to do. Let's see. You can't hear me? I can hear you though. Oh no, no, it's so weird. You can't hear me. I can hear you. Okay. You can hear me though, but I can't hear you. Um, I don't know what to. No, 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 no. What to do? Let's see. Say it. Try with your lips. Oh, she's gonna come back in a second. Okay. Can we hear each other now? Oh my goodness. The devil was a liar. No, no, no. Oh wow. Thank y'all for still sticking around watching this. Um, I think when I played the video, it must have messed up our audio, so we can hear each other. So let's see if this works.
Hey,
Hey, there we go. There we go.
so done. So and how I felt in that moment.
Yes.
So I can do that. That's what I felt like in that moment. I'm just like when I was like, using her voice, she's using her presence to move our spirit in a way. And I'm just like, man, I can do that. Like I want to do that moment. Like
yes.
Man,
it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me when it's gonna be me.
Like that's how it felt.
Yes.
And again, brushing off, just brushing it off because like you know what I mean? You got your goal, your number one goal and dream that you might think is too, and then you figure out something to settle on that you feel like I can live with that. Medium in college instead of going to school for the performing arts like I had.
Wow. I was just like, she had to go there well. So I can imagine how you felt in that moment. When being a singer, I can imagine how you felt. Because I know when I get around other people that's doing what I want to do, it's like, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, so I get it. I so get it. I so get it. I so get it.
And it's not even just like that. This with very powerful speakers. Like when someone is able to see or to take action, something, it's like, man, I love the way that I felt. I could give that to someone.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's a gift that keeps on giving, right? A gift that keeps on giving. So I love that. I love that. So moving forward to the better side of things, there's so much to celebrate in your life. Like, so much stuff to celebrate. So since God saved your life, how do you celebrate your anniversary? How do you celebrate June 11th? June 11th? Yeah, June 11th. 12.
Yeah. Well, that for all of that is still really difficult because it's something I'm a really is trapped in your body. So around those dates, I always just feel myself getting really, really like tense, like physically tense. And it's so strange. No matter how much time goes past, I still have an emotional response to those dates. And so I usually allow my husband to leave those dates. His little sister here, she passed away.
Yeah.
Too much about him, how we're going to personally. Though that's when I really, really, really don't want to go there. I'm going to survivor mode, and I'm barely making it back. I'm in the news, post about it. Everybody reaches out like, "Hey, just want to check." That it's reminding me that it's that time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely a reminder. But what I've learned to do is to celebrate it in a way that it's not sad, if that makes sense. Like for my 10-year, I call it anniversary. For my 10-year anniversary, I went to a friend of mine's documentary premiere, and because every year I'll write a post on Facebook or whatever, saying how I feel about it, blah 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 blah. And then, but I'm like, I want to do something that I feel alive. And so I'm a filmmaker, and so films. I love movies. I love write. I love all that. And so that makes me feel alive, and it brings me so much joy. So I'm going to my friend premiere, and it was actually on June 1st. On my seriously, it's on the day, and so it's like, what better? I'm like, God, thank you. We're in alignment. So it was meant to be. So I really need to find a way to celebrate in a fun way, and not it don't have to be. It doesn't have to be sad. Yes, a sad event did take place. Yes, and we can acknowledge that, but at the same token, it's like it's still something worth celebrating, isn't it? Because you're still alive, and so that's worth celebrating.
I think that's
So,
an interesting perspective that I haven't even considered.
mm-hmm.
Because it is something to celebrate. I
We don't have to be sad. We don't have to be sad, like, because you think, oh, it's like because I felt like I had to be sad. I felt like I couldn't be happy. I couldn't, because somebody dies. How can I celebrate it when somebody died? Like, how can I? I felt selfish, but at the same time, it's like, again, but you're not acknowledging the life part. I still have life, so I'm not acknowledging that side of it. And so it's like, how do you? I struggled with that for years, and so yeah, it was definitely a struggle, but it's definitely something worth thinking about. Separate the fun
well,
side of it, the better side of it.
I appreciate you shifting my perspective on it.
Absolutely.
I haven't really taken much authority in how I, go through that. I kind of just like flow, and wherever, you know what I mean, I just end up thing to celebrate because you are alive, you are here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, celebrate. I never look for helping me look at it like that.
Yes. It's worth it because you're worth it. So yeah. So that's my just inspiration. Education.
Yes, I did. I received that.
Okay,
And
continue. I love it. So get together. So um I love it. How would you say you're living your I call it 2.0 chance of life? Like juggling mom, bonus mom, wife. How do you juggle entrepreneur, all these different things, all these hats you wear? How do you juggle it all? Like
I,
I don't yeah, no, I just do it.
it's a part of a lot of time each day, right? And do that prior to this year. So prior to this year, I was just surviving. I'm just figuring out how to barely make it each day.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of days it was hard. I need to depend on my husband a lot. Support just in the house, different, and showing up as a mom, as an additional mother figure in someone's life when you didn't have. And top of that, when you're actually dealing with emotional blockages and all these things that you gotta overcome internally from your own sense of having a mother in your life, it's like that makes it really challenging at times. The only thing that has been super, super beneficial for me is that shift. I'm not looking at myself as adequate because I didn't have a mom, or inadequate because I'm looking at it as my bonus daughter, something that I would never, the experience I would be able to get was there. So kind of learning through her has been something that's been really helpful. Learning through my bonus, and other things like the healthy example of what a wife looks like in my family. I, quite frankly, disrespect dudes, just talking all kinds of. I mean, so my marriage example that I had seen recent was probably like in my family. So that I don't really have role models or examples for.
Yes.
It's really hard for me to overcome all of that. Is to decide that I can get by, but I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna not only do it, but do it. And I'm gonna do it and choose to decide that. I don't have to say, okay, because my mom wasn't there on this one. That's not how God works.
That's right.
So have in despite of me feeling inadequate.
I can feel that. Because there's no blueprint. You had no blueprint, so you're actually creating your own blueprint. Who's to say you're doing it wrong? Who's to say? Who's like you're doing it wrong? How you can tell me you're doing it wrong? Because there's so many different versions of mothers. So many different versions of mothers. So you say what?
My husband let me know if I'm doing it wrong.
Okay. Oh, you put it out there. Don't put it out there like that.
You let me know.
He'll let you know. Okay. I try. I try to defend you. Oh goodness. So you let me know. Oh goodness, that's funny. So you're a self-published author. Self-published.
Yeah.
So how difficult was it difficult to write your story?
Oh, it's really interesting because at first I wasn't going to write a narrative of me telling the experience from, because it was just so messy. Like it was just so messy. And heartbreak. It was so much betrayal. It was so much pain. It was so much that it wasn't one story necessarily to tell. It was a lot of different stories to tell, and self-help book. But I realized very quickly how silly that sounded if I just survived in mass shooting. Like, you know what I mean? So I have to learn something first. So that's what I don't feel qualified necessarily to write right now. Even though I know that I can write it one day, I don't feel like I'm at that point of those words out. But I do that in the very least, because at the time it was a lot of different perspectives in the shooting, and my perspective, I felt like it was almost also like not really something that people would expect. Really, what was I even doing there? Like, you know what I mean? I thought the question was like, and I was like, now that you mentioned it, the odds of, like, that's something to pay attention to. Right? Book. I realized how challenging writing a book is. Telling you, you're just writing it down. So many challenges of deciding what to share when not share. So other people.
Oh goodness.
As well, because it's not just you, also your and the truth that you have.
Absolutely,
experiences. So I kept running into like moral dilemmas. It's like, should I tell my truth and protect this? So yeah, but it was so I have, but again, the book proposal that I proposed, it was just couldn't see, and so that rejection helped me. Maybe something isn't connecting with what I want to do in this moment. I'm just share my story, and people get something from it. That's great. Share about it.
But you're authentic about you've been authentic about it. So I can't wait to read it. I cannot wait to read it. I have it here, ladies. I have it here, ladies and gentlemen. I do. I cannot wait to read it. Oh my god, I can't wait to read it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm reading something. I'm reading. I'm reading tonight. So yes, I can't wait to read it. Yeah, yeah. I can't wait. Can't wait. Wait.
Actually said that they read that book in 24 hours.
I can. I'm a fast reader that way too, as well. So I can believe it. I can believe it.
I'm like, I cannot read that fast. Like, you be able to read my own book right now in 24 hours. I would not be able to do it because I just reading much text. You know what I mean? I just haven't, but I'm grateful that I was able to get that experience. That's awesome, but it just mind blows me. But if you like, I hope.
I'm sure I will. Sure I will. Can't wait. Can't wait to read it. Okay? We call yourself you're Miss Wow, right? What does Wow stand for? Wow. What does that stand for? I know it stands for something. I know it is.
So standing water, but that's my husband's
Okay.
vision.
This is baby. This is baby. Is that baby? Mm-hmm.
Help the baby growing, and you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. That part. That's my role as Mrs. Wow. Also,
Okay.
the legacy of a sister, and has turned into this brand of the Wow family. On this, you know, in this journey of life, and we're just in a way that we've never before, and our championship season, just as a the brand, like, is what we're building. That's what we're focused on. So that's how do you that Mrs. Wow, because I'm like, yeah, a lot of times I felt like, you know what I mean, but he helped me understand not just for me thing patience, you know what I mean, it's the Wow family. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. I love that. Shout out to Alice for that. Shout out to Alice for that. I love it. I love it. What's your favorite flavor?
Favorite flavor? Okay, so I'm between Coca-Cola,
Okay.
which is definitely like the best, but
Is
it's
it
also
coconut? It's coconut.
But passion, well, because
you said passion paradise.
Yeah, passion paradise.
Okay.
Other.
And it's vegan. It's vegan, isn't it? It's vegan, right? It's
100% now there because he's lactose intolerant.
Okay. So is it like a sherbet? Like a sherbet? Like a sherbet kind of?
I guess the consistency would compare to that, like the texture wise, it could. But it's a slightly thicker paint. Some people even cream, but it's not ice cream.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. I want to try. I want to try it. I see all the videos. I'm like, I want to try it too. I'm ordering some. I'm ordering some.
You should.
Yeah, I'm ordering some. And I think the flavors. I think I'm not really a coconut person. But I think I would do the fruity kind of flavors though.
Like
the fruity flavors.
Love everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. So you met President Joe Biden. What was that like?
I met President Biden kind of like around President Obama. I was more. So yeah, you know. At that time,
you met Obama first and then Joe. Oh, Conjo, like I'm not looking on.
He was there. I shook his hand, but I didn't really like. It was all about getting.
Right. I got you. I got you.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah. You good?
It's still the Obama.
Yeah. So okay, so you met Obama first, then you met Joe Biden. Because I only seen I guess in the picture it was only Joe Biden that I saw, so I didn't know that it was
okay.
Obama first.
There was this moment at the White House had a like survivors life. So that's where that person, he was also in the vicinity at that particular time back in when I physically like get a picture with.
Gotcha. So how do you feel about the bill being passed for the gun reform? How do you feel about that being passed? It's like a yes, finally, like thank you Jesus moment.
I don't know about a thank you, Jesus moment, because there's still I mean, I was really surprised, honestly, because there was so much. It was such a long time coming to see anything at all.
Yeah.
All right. Making it, but
yeah,
it was a small feat on a longer. That's what I feel like. I'm like, well, this is how much work it took.
Yeah.
For
it got to start somewhere. It got to start somewhere.
To get to that just lets you know what's to come as far as I do.
Absolutely. I agree. So I have a couple more questions, but what would you tell somebody who's a newly injured gun violence survivor? What would you say to them about like the recovery process?
Don't expect to be healed overnight.
I like that. I like that.
And that's and physically and emotionally and yeah, because that expectation of feeling a date where you just suddenly feel better can be very crippling. Because you feel like you're closer or you're not where you thought you should. Disappointment.
Yes.
Of what you went through instead of embracing the healing and how long the reality of it is the endless journey. So it's like you're setting yourself up in your emotions, and it's just better from a very honest and a very perspective, and accept early, just accept a new life for you. Like no, it's not going to.
Yeah, I am. It's wisdom.
An extension of your old life. It's not going to be a version of your old life.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. For me, I didn't have anybody to talk to me. I didn't know anybody, have anybody to talk to. I was literally alone. Like nobody in my family's ever gone through this. I don't even have friends that's been through this. So it's kind of like, who do I talk to? I know now there's so many Facebook groups or whatever, but I wasn't, no social media back then, like nothing. So I had literally had nothing but me and God, like literally me and God, and yeah, just me and God, and the doctors or the people coming to the hospital rooms talk to you, whatever. Some people, but they can only say so much. But I didn't have anybody with God to talk to, and that's when my relationship began with God was during that time. So yeah. So, but it's important to know to have somebody to talk to that can relate to you, because it just helps. It helps somebody. It helps know somebody that's been through what you've been through. So, yeah, I agree with that. That's beautiful what you said. I agree with that. I wish I had somebody to talk to. But I think but let's pay away for somebody else. That's how I look at it. Let's pay away for somebody else, and God gives us the strength to be strong enough to help somebody else along the way. So, that's how I like looking at it too. Yeah, yeah. So, last question: what does gun violence awareness mean to you?
Can you say it again?
What does gun violence awareness mean to you?
Gun violence awareness. I've never. This is a question. What does gun violence awareness? Because awareness is like more control, and like itself is. I feel like it's this collective effort of. I view it as shining a light. Gun violence just awareness of this goes on and what effects it has or that it affects. That's the awareness part. That's what I feel. That collective light shine on the people impact. Because we have debates and stuff all the time. Debates and conversations about I feel like the awareness about the people and their story and how their lives and what there's a result of experiencing.
Okay. I like that. It's just well thought out. I like that answer. I got to think about some more, but yeah. I'll give you something about you give me something to think about.
Yeah.
But I like to make my mind think though because it needs to think. So I like that you can some think about. So I like that. So what's next for you? What can we expect from you? Another book, another series of Sincere Patience. I mean, come on. What can we expect? What's next?
I don't know about another Sincere Patience, but maybe see a form in that aspect. Okay. But that's that in our future. For our family, kind of just being birthed through in our family tragedy to still over there that hasn't been finished yet. And it really hasn't even gotten to what I'm excited to unfold for us as a family. But me personally, definitely writing another book. And I realized that whenever I was too changing it, so I'm gonna avoid doing that this time. But I am writing another, and also is something that I'm really focused on, as well as music and just living my life, like just really being the champion that I say that I am, and embodying it, and taking authority as her, and just showing up in the world as who God created me to be, and nothing less than that.
I love that. Well said, counselor. I love it. Oh goodness. Say it again.
What's next for you?
Oh, bounce back to me. Oh my goodness, patience. Well, get my book out by my store. I have a book out already. It's called Through the Lens of Book of Short Stories. I wrote it when I was in college, and my cousin inspired me to put in the book. I had all these stories. He said, "Put in the book." I'm like, "Okay." So I put in the book, and so my book is it's called Through the Lens of Book of Short Stories, and it's just four short stories about self-esteem, and just like salvation, peer pressure, confidence, like there's all those different things to help young people. I love teenagers. I love young people. I have a heart for young people. And so it's to encourage them as well. And so, but my second book is about going to be about my story. And it's taken me a long time to write it because, as you said, get back in that feeling of, get back in that mode. And I don't always like going back there. So I have my first draft written though, but I'm gonna put it out there next year. But I'm just kind of like taking baby steps with it. So this is coming out next, my book, and then my documentary. If I go to a documentary on my story, so yeah, that's next. Yes, thank you so much.
I want to read that book too, and this book that you're writing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
Yes, absolutely. So, we're Philly girls, right? We're Philly girls. Tasty cakes. Do you miss tasty cakes? The cheese steaks, the orange tea, lemon tea. Like, come on, fall out.
A different like taste bud now, but I will.
You're vegan. Well, I still eat meat, so I'll enjoy it for you. How about that?
The pies too.
Yes.
Definitely gotta get.
Yes. But from champion to champion, I want to go on record and say that you've been an example for me and so many ways, and countless other people I know. And I know God's grace and how God is living through you, how God is using you as an example for other people, not just me, but other people as well. How you exude such grace and joy and peace. I sense peace. Like your whole being. It just, I don't know. It just, I love how God uses you and how God just connected us, because I don't even know how I found you. But I was clicking on something and then I don't know. I don't know. God works. God does wonderful things. So I'm so glad that He led me to you and your page, and it's so encouraging, so inspiring. So I just thank you again. And that shows that all things are possible. You've been so gracious, so humble. Like I can't. I'm just little moon grateful that we had this encounter. And just, I'm just so thankful for just you being you. Uh-oh, what happened? Uh-oh, you back
Had an
in
incoming
here?
phone call.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, but you can hear me, right?
Yes, I hear you. Yes.
Okay. So, but I just wanted to thank you for having me on your platform, and thank you for all the beautiful things that you said. And this is not the last time that we're going to be having a conversation, and we're definitely going to be
Definitely
doing
not.
some more things for sure.
Definitely. I look forward to it. And so, oh, your anniversary's coming up in a couple of days. Yay! Right, your anniversary is in a couple of days. Am I tripping? Or your anniversary a couple of days? The 25th, right?
I can't
Isn't
hear you,
it?
girl.
I, I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. Is it not? Is it?
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can
Of
hear
course, I
me.
would mess this up at the end.
Oh no, your phone. It's your phone. Not your phone. Wow, patience. Oh wait. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. But oh, this sucks. I can hear you though, but you can hear me. Oh my goodness. Wow. So you guys, we're in the girl, but we're in it in a couple minutes. We're in a couple minutes. Um, yeah, we're at the end of it.
Of course, I
Can you hear me
would
now?
mess. Yeah, because I had an incoming call at the,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it would mess it up at the very end of the
It's
the
okay.
conversation.
It's okay. We're here. We're here.
And I was just giving you your flowers. So, and
Thank you. But I was saying your anniversary's coming, but the 25th, right? August 25th is the anniversary.
it sure is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it is. It's wow. Well, congratulations on your wedding, your book, your ventures, the new organization, all those things. Survivors the Champions. Like, I wish you and Alice nothing but the best blessings. And for your bonus daughter, all the blessings and the favor and God's grace in the world. I wish it all to you. So
Oh, I
I
received.
just, yes, I thank you for your I really feel like, oh my God, I can't even, I lost my words. So I got to stop talking. But basically all I want to say is thank you so much for being so gracious and humble. I appreciate that. So more than anything else. Yeah. So yeah. And to
And
do it with me, like taking time out of your day. I know you're busy. This is well an hour or something. So good. I know what you have to do, but I thank you for taking your time to talk to me and inspire the masses with me. So teaming up with me, so I appreciate that as well. And so, but let everybody know and connect with you and things like that. I can get in contact with you. I'm gonna put it on the screen
well,
too.
my main form of contact right now is my Instagram at Pay Harder, and I have a website www.patienceMurray.com. I definitely look forward to connecting with everyone who was a part of this, and also connecting more stuff like this for sure.
Yes. And also, yeah. So then also your book. Plug your book. Plug your book. Plug your book. Gotta plug it. Gotta plug it.
Available now on Amazon and other retail like Then Live. It's available
Yes.
now.
Yes. Absolutely. So, but again, thank you, Patience, so much for taking the time out of your day. And yeah, this meant the world to me. But thank you, thank you all again for tuning in to hear Patient's story. I know it's a little choppy, but thank y'all for sticking around and staying tuned. But connect with Patient on her Instagram at Pay Carter. It's PAE Carter, and for her book Surviving, Surviving Then Live, right? Surviving Then Live. Duh, it's right there. Duh, brain moment. But Surviving Then Live. I got my copy, and I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited to read it. But support her and get yours on Amazon.com. And patients always know weapons to inform everybody, but they don't have to prosper. You can still have life after an injury or whatever, whether gunshot, brain injury, whatever. You can still have life. There's still life after. And you can still change your story. And so God can still change your story and use you to touch other people's lives. Patient story demonstrates that. So it's we have an example right here. So thank y'all today for joining us today. I hope you enjoy me, Patient. Learn more about her. And you can connect with me on Instagram at Erica R. Walker 878 and YouTube Erica Renee Walker. And tune in tomorrow for another episode of TBI Uncovered. Special time as well again. I'm Erica Renee. Remember, we all have a story, and you too can change the world with yours. So see y'all later. Thank you, Vision.